But what initially sparked that idea and the belief that she could do something like that?
Well, we've had her. We've had Kenna taking free kicks for us for a little while. She started doing it in the spring COVID season. So spring of 21, she started coming up and taking those, and basically just because she strikes the ball so well, and good for her. I mean, that was a really well taken free kick. It wasn't anything the goalkeeper made any error on, because really the Tulsa goalkeeper played terrific tonight. I thought she was, kept them in the game the whole night, and I mean all the way around. I think that Jim Ryan really had the Hurricane well organized, and it was really hard to break them down the entire evening. And it took a really good goal like that to kind of break the seal on the goal. And good for Kenna, good for Kenna that she was able to do it. She scored like that in the spring, so we knew that she could, that she had the confidence to do it. So what the heck, you don't win the lottery if you don't buy a ticket.
Is there a point that you thought, from your vantage point, that it could have a chance in the flight in, or was it not till it hit the back of the net that you thought?
It was one of those things. As soon as she struck it, it's like, oh, look at that, and what do you know? It goes in. So it wasn't. It's not surprising that she scores, because she does hit the ball well like that quite often, and she has the ability to, really put a lot of force behind it and a lot of spin on it. So it's hard to judge for the goalkeeper.
I know you made some starting lineup changes today, and one of those was bringing Sammy in, and she did great to set up that second goal too. What was it about the few changes today that you thought might unlock some things?
Well, just in general, we wanted to put people more in their natural habitat, and Margot Matula is a natural defender and a great defender. She's one of the top freshman defenders in the country, and we'd been trying her in the midfield. Our midfield MVP, Quinn Cornog, we had been putting her in on the back line because she's such a good playmaker. Well, we went ahead and just switched those two, put them back in their natural roles, and they both did a terrific job. They don't have to think as much there. They just play naturally and just kind of flow in those positions. So both of them did great in there. Miley Hayes, were able to put her back up into her regular forward position, and she plays without having to constantly process new information. It just becomes natural to her. And Sammy is just a pure footballer. She's a very smart player. So her ability to combine with Carissa Beckman when Carissa is running at the back line is just a natural instinct of a really smart player, and Sammy is a very smart player.
What was your message to the girls at the half? I know this game can kind of be a little here we go again at times, but with all the shots and still not having anything on the score sheet. It seemed like y'all came out with a lot of energy to start the second half. Just what was your message to them?
Well, there's no shouting, there's no screaming. It was just reminding them that Tulsa's working really hard. They've had to work really hard to keep it at 0, and just reminding our players of what can make us dangerous, and that we weren't really dangerous enough in the last 20 yards. That we've got to work harder to get open. We've got to make them work a little bit harder to kind of find us in blind spots. And we thought we were a little bit too easy to mark in the inside the penalty area. And the goal that Carissa scored is a really good example of people working off the ball. That just makes it really hard to defend.
How does this first one of the season set y'all up for TCU next Sunday?
Well, I think it's a good confidence boost for the team, because they know that they've been playing well. They know that they've been creating a lot of chances. Now, going up to Fort Worth is always a challenge. TCU is a very good team. It's a team that has won a couple Big 12 championships. They've been in the NCAA's several years in a row now. It's a team that we obviously have a lot of respect for. It's become a good rival for us in a lot of ways. Number one, because they play, and just like us, it's always an attractive game when the two teams meet. It's not a matter of one team's going to bully the other team. It's a matter of both teams, I think, have a lot of respect for each other. So the game is really attractive for the neutral. So I know that there'll be a lot of Aggies in the Metroplex. Typically, when we show up, it's oftentimes a record crowd for TCU, because there's so many Aggies in the Metroplex that are going to come out to that game. 7 o'clock on a Sunday night is a good time to play the game, instead of 1 o'clock on a hot afternoon. So I think all in all, it should be another super match. Every time we've played them for the last, I want to say 7 years, it's been a 1-goal affair. Whether it's been a win for us or a win for them, it's been down to the wire, and it's been really, really close. And I wouldn't expect anything different this time around.
Now you talked about kind of putting players back at their natural positions. You kind of bracing for Canada, maybe say, listen, our other girls at the back, they got it back there. You got to let me, up on that front line, join the attack.
Well, maybe Ken has put just a little bit of notice to the forwards that it's time to go ahead and put something in the back of the net. But she's very humble. She would never do that. It's it just shows another weapon that we have, and we have a lot of weapons on this team, and it's good to finally get over the hump with the win, because we've been so close to doing it, and also to get the shutout. And I think we've been close to shutting teams out. It was a good all-around victory for the team, and a team defending situation, because Tulsa, we had the ball so much, and Tulsa was trying to break out and counterattack on us, and we didn't have any kind of hiccups, mental hiccups to give them any kind of really good looks on goals. So all in all, a good win, something that we can hopefully build on, because we're going to be right back here again next Thursday and see if we can get a result in Fort Worth and get ourselves off to a little bit of a run.
All righty, thanks, and gig 'em.
Thanks, Coach.